In 1773, a militia known as Sons of Liberty, disguised as Mohawk Indians, boarded a British ship and dumped 342 chests of tea into the Boston harbor to protest taxation without representation. 2 years later, America went into full-blown Revolutionary War, which lasted 8 years. But war is expensive, and though victorious, the newly formed United States emerged from this war flat broke. So the government did what governments do when they're broke. They levied taxes on their citizens. But the farmers of Western Pennsylvania were not having it. They primarily made their living off making and selling whiskey. So when the inky-fingered taxman showed up, hat in hand and pockets empty, guess what? They revolted. Tax collectors were beaten, tarred and feathered. The home of General John Neville, a tax inspector, was torched and burned to the ground. Things got so bad that in 1794, President of the newly formed United States, George Washington, laced up his boots and gathered an army, 13,000 men strong, and said, "Pay me or else." In case you don't understand how significant this moment is, this is the first and only time in history that a sitting U.S. president has led troops into the field. The battle comes to a head at Braddock's Field outside Pittsburgh. 7,000 farmer and militiamen versus 13,000 troops, now led by General Light Horse Harry Lee. Yes, that Lee, the father of Robert E. Lee. What the rebels didn't understand was that this was about more than just taxes. It was a test of the newly formed Constitution and whether or not federal law supersedes state law. After much huffing and puffing, the two armies faced each other and it was full-on panic. The rebels scattered, hundreds were arrested. Ultimately, two men, Philip Wiggle and John Mitchell, were convicted and charged with high treason, though later pardoned by George Washington. Ultimately, this almost rebellion cemented the power of the federal government and the Constitution and defined the limits of protest, which is opposition without violence. Fast forward to today, and the liquor industry is one of the most highly taxed and highly regulated industry in the United States. Go figure.